And we have several people that could not make this call today that are interested in this program. And so we wanted to give them the opportunity to see that at a later time. So welcome everybody. For those that don't know me or can't read my screen, my name is Josh, and I'm the Youth and Discipleship Director for Virginia. And several of you, many of you, I've already met. Most of you I've met already. And so looking forward to possibly having all of you on board for this call or this program. And so just to kind of give you some background about this program, the Youth Ministry Certification Program is offered by the international offices, the Youth and Discipleship Department of the international offices. The program is actually designed to be self-led, but several years ago, I was given the ability from Cleveland from headquarters to allow us to tweak it and to run it as a group program. My experience with the program is that it tends to work better when we work through it as a group. So that's what we're going to do with this first go around of the program. There are 2 levels. So this one is the first level. Here's how we will run the program. I'll kind of go through it with you, and then I will be more than happy to take any questions that you might have concerning this. So the way that we will do this is we'll begin next month in January. At the end of this call, I'll ask you all to put your email in the group chat. And that way I have your emails, and that you giving me your emails lets me know that you are interested in proceeding with the program. The biggest thing that people want to know, the 2 biggest things, are cost and time. So just so that you know, the cost is $10 for the manual. And that manual can be downloaded. It is a downloadable manual, and it can be downloaded at cogyouthstore.org, cogyouthstore.org. And you just go up in the top menu and click on Youth Ministry Certification Program. You want level 1, which is the blue cover. The other one is yellow and it says level 2. So for this program, you'll want the blue one. So anyway, it's $10. And then additionally, throughout the 6 months, that's how long the program takes for us to go through this. During the 6 months, you'll need to purchase 5 books. Okay. All of those books are available on Amazon, and I think that most of them are under $20 each. Okay. The way that the program works is that you actually are required to read 4. They give you 4 books you are required to read, and then 1 you get to choose out of a group of 10. So your 5th selection you get to pick out of the group. I'll go ahead and tell you what the 4 books are. And so if you want to go ahead and order those, the way that we work the deal is that you will read 1 book a month. The program requires that we read 1 book a month and write a 2-page report on the book. That's 2 pages, double-spaced, 12 font. So, and the way that we'll do this is that your report will be due each month right before our monthly meetings. We will have 1 meeting a month. It'll be done in the evening. Majority wins each time. on what day works best for people. So the majority wins on that one. If you can't make a meeting, if you can't make one of the Zoom calls, we will record all of those, and you can request those, and I'll get those to you via email. All of our meetings will be done virtually. We'll do all of those just like we're doing this one. And every meeting, I will do my best to keep each of those at 1 hour. Your family time is very important. We have several bivocational youth leaders, youth pastors, and so evening seems to work best for everyone. So here are the 4 books that are required, and you can read these in any order. Because when we do our Zoom calls, we won't be discussing the books a whole lot. We will be discussing the manual during our Zoom meetings. The first book is Communicating for Change. Communicating for Change, and that is by Andy Stanley. The second book is Your First 2 Years in Youth Ministry. That's by Doug Fields. Your First 2 Years in Youth Ministry. Third book is Sticky Faith by Kara Powell. There are several editions of that one. You can pick whichever one you want. They're not real particular as to which edition, but you can choose that. I wouldn't choose the student edition. There is one for students. I would pick the one for us grown folks. So that's the third one, Sticky Faith. And the fourth one, and I will tell you, it is the least desirable one. So I would, if I were you, I'd get it out of the way at the get-go. And it is Youth Ministry Nuts and Bolts. Youth Ministry Nuts and Bolts, and that's by Duffy Robbins. Across the board, I've run this program 5 or 6 times. Across the board, it is the least favorite book, but it is the most informational. It basically is a textbook for youth ministry. So for those of you that like that kind of academic learning, you'll love the book. For those of you like me that you have ADD, that's not going to be a book that you're gonna have to plow through that one. All right. And these books are listed in the manual. So if you didn't get those down today, that's totally fine. You can find those in the manual when you download it. The list of 10 books that you choose one from, it's listed in the manual as well. Some of those books are In a Pit with a Lion on a Snowy Day, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, Forgotten God. There's 10 of them. Those of you that might be going through this with your spouse, one of those books is The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. And so that's a good one too for couples, but it'll help you in ministry as well. So during the 6 months, 5 reports, and then at the very end, you'll have to do a 5-page report on the entire program. Again, all of this is outlined in the manual when you download it. So again, if you have any questions about that I don't answer tonight, you can go in there and look for those. I will tell you that in the manual, it gives you an email of where you are to send your reports. Disregard that. You should send your reports to me. And my email is josh@vacog.org. That's Josh at VACOG.org. And I will keep all of your reports for you. Once you send them to me, you don't have to worry about it anymore. I'll keep those. At the end of the program, I'll actually print all of your reports out for everybody going through the program, and I will priority those to Cleveland. They will then priority back your certificates, and then I'll reach out to you. If I can work it out, I would love to be able to come to your church on a Sunday and present your certificate to you. There are a lot of us in this group, so I won't be able to make it to everybody's, but I will do my best to make it to your church to give you your certificate. It's a pretty cool deal. And so I think that is the basics of the program. It was a lot easier for me to do it in a video format like this instead of putting all of that on social media or sending it in an email. That'd be a lot to take in. It really is not a lot of work, but it is thorough. You will feel like you earned that certificate, I will tell you. And I don't know about you, but those are the certificates. Those are the diplomas. Those are the things that I like because I know that I've earned those. So I'd love to be able to take any questions that you might have. Just jump in. All of you are muted right now, so you'll have to hit unmute and then jump right in if you have a question.
Bishop, this is Scott Emmerine. I think there's 6 of us from our church that are on this call. Can you talk about, besides the personal gratification of earning this certificate, as youth leaders who may be aspiring to be future youth pastors, maybe going on to other churches to be youth pastors, what is the value of them? Maybe even some that are on this call that don't have their credentials yet. What will this do for them in terms of their ministry careers?
No, I think that's a great question, Scott, and I appreciate you asking that. I personally believe that this program will jumpstart, it'll jumpstart you into embracing your calling. Some of you are already fully involved and fully engrossed in your calling already. You might be the youth pastor or the head youth leader. And if that's you, we all can stand to do better and to be better and to better ourselves. But I think what this does, I know that ministry is not all about this, but this program is recognized by many pastors. When you put this on your resume, which if you don't have a resume and you're wanting to go into employed ministry, or even just to embrace that calling, when pastors look at your resume, they're going to notice this. They're going to see this is not just something that you filled out on the back of a cereal box and sent in and they mailed something to you. This is which I probably just dated myself by that. I don't even know if cereal boxes do that anymore, but you know, you got your Ovaltine decoder ring and all of that stuff. Some of you got that. So but I think that what it does is it legitimizes some of us in our calling, that, you know, we really went through this. You're going to find that you're going to build a friendship and a camaraderie with everybody that's going through this right now. You're going to see each other at prayer conference, at camp meeting, at youth camp, and you're going to be like, hey, I remember you. We went through the program together. It's like a fraternity, a sorority. I've just noticed that throughout the years of doing this program, but I think that it just betters us. If you don't have credentials yet, this is going to give you a little taste of what it's going to be like to go through the CAMS program, the MIP program, to get your exhorters, your ordained minister, and for some of you to become an ordained bishop, because there is reading, but it's good reading, and And I think it's solid. So I hope that answered the question. So
It did. Thank you, Bishop. I just know there's some folks on my team here who do have those kind of aspirations. I think I have one person here, Chance, who's on. He's going through CAMS now, and a couple other people on my team who are looking into that in the fall. So I just was wondering if that would supplement what they're doing. And I think you and I had discussed us as a team may even meet or here or at our church and do this together as a group.
and I think that's a great way to do it. If you're the head youth leader and you want to bring your entire team on this, like Scott's doing, I think that would be a great way to build a family atmosphere with your team. I will tell you, not that I am some great all-knowing youth guru, but I get calls. I get calls all the time for pastors looking for youth pastors. And it doesn't hurt if I already know you and you've been through this program, and I can say, hey, I remember this person that went through, I remember so-and-so, and they really contributed to the program and they've been through this. I would recommend them for that position. So I think that helps if those are your aspirations. Some of you don't want ministry employment. Some of you are absolutely satisfied and fulfilling your calling as a volunteer, and there's nothing wrong with that. But others of you, you want to seek this as employment. Anybody else have a question?
When will you do level 2?
We'll probably do this once a year. So I would think that we would probably start that in 2024.
Okay.
Yeah. And some of it will be dependent on if I have another group that wants to go through level 1. Or we also are looking into doing something for children's leaders as well.
Okay.
Right now, it's sort of planned for January 2024.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. What was the email address that you told us, and what is the purpose on sending email address again to this?
Yeah, so it's my email address. It's josh@vacog.org, VACOG.org. And that's where you'll send all your reports.
Ah, okay. And when are we gonna start sending reports in this?
So our first meeting will be in January. I haven't set the date yet.
Okay.
But we'll start in January, and your first book report will be due February, at the February meeting.
All right, thank you.
Sure. All right, crickets. Anybody else have a question?
Will we decide on a monthly basis when each meeting will be? Or are we going to set that ahead of time on the same day and time each month?
So typically what we do is at the end of each meeting, I'll ask the participants what day works best for them. I'll give a week, it'll be a month out, and whichever date the majority of the people can meet, that's the date we'll choose. I typically try to go, I don't know how it's going to work in Virginia, we'll see. But I've had a lot of success on Thursday nights.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have my MIP test in March. Will you work around that for the time of the test and everything?
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
be okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I don't mind doing that at all. MIP is the priority.
Okay.
Yeah,
And Bishop, I think you and I had discussed if someone is going through MIP, that it may be more time intensive, but if they're going through CAMS, just the book and the report should not be too taxing on them. Is that correct?
that would be my opinion. CAMS is not as I don't want to say the word thorough. It's not as time intensive as MIP is.
So we can write a report on any of the 4 books monthly.
Yes. And if you want to work ahead and you want to do 2 reports, like Communicating for Change is like a small book. It's like one of those books that you would have sitting next to your toilet. So, you know, it's real easy reading. So you might be able to do that one. I just threw some of y'all for a loop on that one, I know. But it's not as intense as the other ones. It's smaller. So you could probably pair that one up with another one and knock out 2 in a month. You can work at your own pace if you work faster than the pace. But my experience, the first time I ran the program, I let everybody run at their own pace. And they really struggled when it came to the 6th month and they hadn't done any reports. I had several that just dropped it and said, I can't do it because I didn't keep up. So I'd encourage you to do at least 1 a month.
So Bishop, if we've read all the books that you just listed, plus some of the supplemental 10 books, then we could ideally, if we know the content, go ahead and write those, but then still participate in the manuals and meetings.
100%. You can do that. Yep.
Will you be accepting multiple emails monthly, or should we space it in between each month as we do double book?
You can send them whenever you're done. I'll take them whenever you can get them to me.
I have a question.
Yes.
If you are unable to make it to a meeting 1 month, because I know you said you schedule with like the majority of the availability, is the meeting going to be recorded, or how would you make up that session?
So what I would ask is if you can't make the meeting, then you just send me an email letting me know that you can't make it and that you'd like the recording sent to you. And because we'll record just like we're recording this one. And and we'll just send that. I'll just send it to you that way. And,
Okay, thank you.
It's an honor system, so I'm not gonna, you know, I don't have the ability to go and check to see if you watched the video. If you tell me you watched it, then you watched it. And that's, you know, that's where we'll leave it. Any other questions?
Hey, Bishop Josh.
Yes.
I'm a youth pastor. I'm a Church of God youth pastor in Tennessee, and I'm a part of Church of God. I'm just not in the Virginia Church of God part anymore. And so I was wondering, will Church of God affiliation still be a part? Can be a part of like the program?
Sure. Yeah. You know, if you went to a Baptist church, you could be a part of this. Your certificate's just going to be from the Church of God. So, you know, we're not exclusive of that. That's just where the program comes from. So.
Awesome.
And let me ask you, is it Michael or Mikhail
Yes.
or Michael?
Yes, sir. That's
Okay.
Michael.
So you do, so did I understand right? You do attend a Church of God in Tennessee?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Church of God, Cleveland?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what I would do, just, and I can do it for you, just let your youth director know, that's Scotty Hager. Let Bishop Scotty know that you're going through it, just so that he knows. Because he may tell you, hey, listen, we're gonna start this in March, and maybe you wanna, you're more than welcome to go with Virginia, but you may want to be with Tennessee. It's up to you. Half of Scott's people live in Tennessee anyway. So,
Mhm.
so
Okay.
just a thought, just let Scotty know.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I was a part of in the Virginia church. I just moved down to Tennessee.
Okay.
Relocated. But thank you so much.
Yep. All right, so a lot of you are real quiet. When we do these Zoom calls, if these meetings are like this right now, it's going to be painful for all of us.
I think you actually did a really good job of giving us all the basic information, honestly. So.
Yeah, that's what Christopher just said. He's like, well, Bishop covered everything. So that's why we're quiet. You were very thorough in your presentation.
Yeah.
Well, I've been doing this one for a while, and they actually asked me to train other youth directors on how to run the program. So, this is something that it's something that's important to me. I had 2 youth directors actually call me today and ask me to run through the program with them, and we've seen it really take off in other states. So I wish that when I was a youth pastor that I would have had this to go through.
What is level 2 comprised of?
That's a great question. I was afraid somebody was going to ask that. And I'll have to get back to you on that. I have downloaded it, but I have not ingested it all. So it's the same concept. It's just a little deeper. So I will do a better job of having a better answer for the next meeting in case anybody has one.
Hey, Mr. Martin, I agree with you. I think this is an awesome deal. Being in Virginia, in Church of God for over 20 years, I think this is a great opportunity. Not all of us are credentialed in the church, but I think this is a great way to train our youth leaders and youth pastors for that matter. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this opportunity to be able to collaborate and kind of learn from each other. I know Scott is on, so I look forward to just the collaboration and just the networking, like you mentioned, networking with other youth leaders and youth pastors in the state. I know we're in all different parts of Virginia, being that Virginia is such a large state. But if you're in Northern Virginia, please come by and say hello to myself. And I see Larissa is on. So I'm going to take the lead of Pastor Scott that how they're going to do it as a church. So I think we're planning on doing it as a team. So again, I think this is going to be awesome. I look forward to it. $1 million question. Is there an exam at the end?
There is no exam. It's just your 5-page paper.
All right. Sounds good.
And
because if it's anything like credentialing, as you guys know, for the ordained bishop was pretty brutal. So, but thank you. I appreciate this opportunity.
For sure. And not only do we need to make sure that we collaborate, but we have to listen as well.
Pastor Rob, I'll be preaching at Pastor Freddie's church on Sunday.
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, that'll be great. Have you preached there before?
My first time.
Yeah, he's got a wonderful church. Awesome, good group of people. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to being up in Northern Virginia and being being an Asian guy myself, it'll be nice to be with at a, I guess it's predominantly Filipino church.
It is. It is a predominantly Filipino congregation, but they do have some what we would refer to as Americans. So, I mean, that could be white American, that could be Caucasian blacks. So he does have some others that are non-Filipinos in his congregation. And interesting because him and I went to the Philippines on missions with the Church of God. So yeah, it's great fellowship with them. I preached at his church a few times. So yeah, if you're ever back in the area, let us know. So we would like to go to lunch or something like that.
Sounds great. And I think that just reiterates Bishop's point about us being able to network with this group and build some camaraderie too. So thank you, Bishop, for doing this. I know it goes above and beyond just doing your normal day-to-day stuff. This is something new for the state. And I love all the new things that you're introducing and looking forward to working with you over the next couple of years too.
We're excited too. And please, as we're saying that, and I know we're going to be closing up here, before I give this last little plug, if you want me to send you the link for the first meeting, and I don't have that date yet, but we will get that. If you want to be a part of this program, if you'll just email me, or if you'll direct message me in the side chat right now, when I save this, I'll have all of your emails there as well. Some of you, most of you, if you got this, if you're on this call, you have an email from my administrative assistant, Ashley. But that'll help if you'll send this to me. But additionally, part of what we do is discipling young people. Our largest evangelistic outreach that we do on the state level, it might be the most, in fact, I know it is the most expensive endeavor that we do at the state office, is youth camp. And so please work on getting your students to youth camp. If you haven't seen all the promos for youth camp, you need to be connected to our social media accounts. We've launched the theme for camp. Camp is all the elements of what you're used to seeing at Virginia Youth Camp is going to be there, but there's going to be a lot of new elements as well. Some things that you have not seen before. So I'm really excited about that. Please get your young people to youth camp. It's the first 3 weeks of July. So the first week is high school, then middle school, then elementary. All right. And we haven't announced this yet, but we've got second edition from Lee Singers at Lee University. We'll be doing the worship for high school camp. We're real excited about that. We're just, camp is my favorite thing that I get to do. I love hanging out with you guys a lot, but I really love doing youth camp, and it is my Super Bowl, and I'm excited about it. So get your kids to camp. All right. Has everyone sent me their email?
Is there a page limit that we can't go past per report?
Nope. Nope. You want to be an overachiever? You be an overachiever.
I have a question. Is this are the papers just like a summary, like an overall summary, or is there a writing prompt with it?
It tells you in the manual exactly what each of those reports is to look like. But basically it's just a report on the book. So that kind of leaves it wide open. What did it mean to you? How can you apply it to your life, your ministry? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? And 2 pages that's a double space. That's pretty easy to do. All right. Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed this evening. My goal was to be at 30 minutes. We're just a little bit over that. But if you have any questions or any concerns at all about this, you have my email. I'm always available to you. I'll give you this as well if you'd like my cell phone number. You can write this down. It is 727-452-3673. That's my cell phone number. And the first time that you text me or call me, you're going to have to tell me who you are. So some of you, I don't have your numbers in there. But if you just have a quick question, or you can email me, whatever one you're the most comfortable at doing. But if I call you and you don't have my number in your phone, it's going to say Clearwater, Florida. So you're going to think that you're getting spammed. But that's where we used to live. So nowadays you don't have to change your area code. So. All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank
All right.
you.
Well, everybody have a great night. And I look forward to spending the next 6 months with you all. All right. Go ahead and get your books just in case Amazon goes on strike and you have trouble getting your books. All right.
All right.
See you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.